So my name is Coach Freezer. I coach the offensive line and special teams at Maine-Endwell. And so what we're going to talk about is dynamic versus static stretching. A couple of years ago, we were reading some studies and also talking to our training staff. We're very fortunate now to have a strength and conditioning coach and an athletic trainer on here all the time. And if we go back before that, a lot of the coaching staff had to kind of take charge of that. But one of the things that we started shifting to was going away from static stretching prior to practice to more dynamic. So static stretching is what you primarily would think of when you think of, stretching, where you're in one spot, you're not moving, and you're holding a stretch for like 10 to 12 seconds. So if this is Josh Kolar, our starting center, he's just gonna show us a few things. And so an example of something we might have done 10 years ago is come out and line up and start our stretching routine, which is all static. So to stretch his hamstrings, he may just do a simple feet together, just reach down and hold the stretch, right? That's typical. That's what I remember doing a lot when we were playing many years ago. So instead of doing that, to really stretch out the hamstrings, now we would move towards maybe doing, we call straight leg kicks. So he would still be stretching out his hamstrings, but he'd be getting them warmed up and ready for action by alternating which foot he's kicking up to his opposite hand. And we would work all the way down to 10 yards, right, to make sure that we got at least 3 to 4 reps on each leg. And so what that's doing is it's priming his body for athletic activity. And so not that static stretching doesn't have its role, which it certainly does, but we would do that more after the activity is over. So we typically follow the rule now, dynamic stretching prior to practice, and then static stretching afterwards when you're in that recovery phase. And so if you think about the idea of kind of like warming up, cooling down. So we want to warm the body up by getting it moving, right? When he's doing those straight leg kicks, maybe not go so high at first, just gradually, and as he gets looser and warm, then he can start getting that leg a little bit higher as he goes. So at times after practice, we'll bring the guys back together and do static stretching, because now that the muscle's fatigued and it's been warm for 2 hours, right? Now we want to cool it down, but also get the benefits of starting the recovery process and also start to make sure that we're maintaining our flexibility. Because a lot of the things that we've seen is when we have injuries that are like pulls, it's not because we didn't static stretch prior to practice, it's because we didn't allow that muscle to fully recover and to bounce back, and now it's really tight, and now you're susceptible to an injury. So ever since we made that change, we've actually had a decrease in the amount of injuries that we've had due to muscle strains and muscle pulls. So we really like the fact that we've transitioned to that.